Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. Today, we're here with our friend, Miss Robin Shimizu, all the way from Sacramento, California, coming to us live from Napa. We're always happy when she's in the house because she always has great guests and wonderful information. So, guys, I really recommend that you get your pencil and pen because whoever she has coming, you're going to want to hear from.
Mhm.
What do you have for us today, Robin?
Well, today we were blessed. Excuse me. Good morning, Terralina.
Good morning, beautiful.
Today we have our Lynnis Woods-Mullins with
Mhm.
us, and she is our all-around coach. So let me just read her bio and introduce her to our guest. We'll get right into it because I think we have a really great program today. All right, here we go. So, Lynnis Woods-Mullins is a certified holistic living and wellness expert, author, podcast host, and the founder of PraiseWorks Health and Wellness. Her company is dedicated to educating women over 40 on wellness. With over 16 years of experience, and that's 17 years now, Lynnis has empowered women through coaching programs, ebooks, webinars, podcasts, and special events. In fact, I think she's just doing her 100th podcast today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's created a vibrant Facebook group of almost 25,000 women, a,
That is
subs-
phenomenal.
a subscription program, and empowering events. Linus is co-author of Power Up Superwoman and publisher of Wellness Women 40 and Beyond e-magazine. Her podcast, Vibe Living Podcast, is in the top 10%
Mhm.
globally of all podcasts, and she has a social media following of over 100,000 people. An influencer and social media strategist, Linus has certifications in nutrition, life coaching, gut health, aromatherapy, yoga, Pilates, with international and national recognition for her contributions to women's wellness over 40. She's married, which is a big
Mhm.
job too. She has four beautiful daughters and she has six grandchildren. So she's got a big, huge family, and I hear she has another grandbaby on the way.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So with that, let's bring on our guest, Lynnis Woods Mullins. We're excited to have her.
Hello, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, am I muted? Oh, no, I'm
No, you're
unmuted.
not. I unmuted you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
that opening. I need to listen to that every day. It makes me feel good. So thank you so much. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that, Robin. Today, I thought I would talk about something that I've been doing a lot of interviews on my podcast about. And
Mm.
also, there's some workshops on the brand new Vibe Wellness Woman Network that I've created that's off of the Facebook platform. We had a doctor talk about this, as well as another doctor, two doctors, one who is a functional practitioner, another one who's an integrative physician, and they both talked about hormones and women and their impact. And I think the reason why there's so much talk these days about hormones is because in the past we haven't talked about it at all. And
Mm.
now, with access to the internet and with the fact that baby boomers just won't go away, and we're all talking about what we're experiencing because we're thinking we should be done with this and we're not.
Mhm.
Um, I decided that I wanted to, have these women on and to talk about it myself. So we're going to talk about it today. Hormones, progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. And I'm going to be looking at my notes so I don't leave anything out. But basically, I thought it would be a good idea for me to go over what they are and signs that you have a low hormone of whatever one I'm talking about, and the kinds of foods you can eat that can help support the levels, and where the adrenal glands all come in. Because
Mm.
one thing I can tell you right now, that the adrenals are basically is what helps to produce your hormones. And one thing that can drain the adrenals in terms of them being able to make a difference and to produce your hormones at the right level. It's just not the aging process that causes them to not be able to produce at the right level, but it's also chronic stress.
Ah.
Chronic stress does not have to be that your hair is on fire all day long. Chronic stress is just a stressful life period all the time, the day-to-day stresses. You're probably suffering from chronic stress if you're commuting to work every day. Just that alone.
Yeah.
Not to mention what happens when you get to work, what happens when you go back home after work, and what happens during work. Okay. The whole thing is just a hot mess stress. Okay. So because of that, we've got to start looking at things that we can do to lower our stress levels, which are also going to lower our cortisol levels. We need cortisol, but not at the elevated levels that we're all living with cortisol, because cortisol can cause some major issues, especially around that thickening in the tummy, the thickening in the thighs, the thickening of the arms. You just get sick if you have too much cortisol going. We'll talk about cortisol another time, but let's talk about progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen. Now, progesterone is really crucial when it comes to regulating your menstrual cycle and preparing the body for pregnancy. Now, there may be those who think, well, then if I'm over 60, then I don't need no darn progesterone. I don't need no stinking progesterone. No, you still do. You still need it, because when your progesterone is low, you'll have irregular periods or heavy bleeding. You'll have difficulty sleeping and insomnia. You'll have mood swings, anxiety, depression perhaps, and weight gain, especially around the middle. So you do need that stinking progesterone. You absolutely do need it. And one way to get it is to make sure you're eating vitamin C rich foods, like, the oranges, the strawberries, bell peppers can all help progesterone production. And let me just say something real quickly about bell peppers, whether they're green or red, orange, whatever, but especially red bell peppers. It's a little bit easier on the gut if you braise them a little bit. If you're having some gut issues and you're trying to bring your gut into a healthier state of being, then you want to maybe braise or cook the bell peppers just a little bit so it will be easier to digest. Just wanted to say that. Also, magnesium-rich foods like dark green leafy vegetables and nuts such as almonds and cashews can also help support progesterone levels, and zinc-rich foods like pumpkin seeds and oysters can help hormone regulation. Now, of course, as I mentioned before, the adrenal role is to produce the progesterone, but when they're under chronic stress, then the adrenal glands may steal progesterone to produce cortisol, and that's what leads to the imbalance. So it's like a domino thing. If one thing's off, and then pretty soon everything just goes to hell in a handbasket, basically. And that's why it's important to get your panels drawn to see where you are on these levels. Okay, the next one is testosterone. Now, there might be some who say, I'm not a man, I don't need testosterone. But you actually do need it. It's awfully associated with men, but it also is essential for women too, especially when it comes to maintaining our muscle mass, our libido, and our energy levels. Okay. Signs of low testosterone: reduced libido or sexual function, fatigue and lack of energy, muscle weakness or decreased muscle mass, and also mood changes or lack of motivation. Now, you can eat some foods that can help support your testosterone levels. Avocado, olive oil, nuts also support all hormone production. Protein sources like eggs, lean meat, fish, and especially fatty fish like salmon. And again, zinc-rich foods like legumes, nuts, seeds, they all help maintain a healthy testosterone level. Now, the adrenals produce just a small amount of testosterone for women. But again, chronic stress can lower those testosterone levels, and the adrenals will start to prioritize instead cortisol. Okay, see the pattern here, what's happening? Now, the other one is estrogen. Estrogen is responsible for reproductive health, bone density, skin health, and mood regulation. It also protects against cardiovascular disease. Now, when you have signs of low estrogen, you're going to have hot flashes and night sweats. I think we all know about that or heard about that. You're going to also have vaginal dryness or discomfort, a loss of bone density, leading to which could lead to osteoporosis and decreased skin elasticity, increased wrinkles. Now, there are foods that can support estrogen levels. Things that are phytoestrogen-rich foods like flax seeds, soy products, sesame seeds, they all mimic estrogen and kind of help to balance the levels. B vitamins, whole grains, and leafy greens can also help with estrogen production. And omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, walnuts, chia seeds, they all help to regulate estrogen and support your heart health. Now, when estrogen begins to decline during menopause, the adrenals help produce small amounts of estrogen. But again, with chronic stress, it can get overwhelming for the adrenals, and it further depletes the estrogen levels. So I got a personal story to tell you. I went through menopause without a whole lot, I thought. Okay. I think I started around 51 and stopped probably like around maybe 60 or something like that. But interestingly enough, the weight gain didn't come until after I was officially officially through with menopause. And the other thing was that I was misdiagnosed during my menopause journey. I had what they said was an anxiety disorder, but I found out later through my research and through getting educated and through working with all of these doctors that actually I had menopausal anxiety, which comes from not having enough progesterone and not having enough what's the other one? Estrogen in my system. Now, had I known that, there's several things I could have done. I probably would have done something, a natural HRT or something like that, but I definitely would have corrected it. But no one told me about anxiety being a symptom. So they misdiagnosed me, and they wanted to give me pills for it. And I did take them the first 3 months, but I stopped taking them because I didn't like the way they felt. And one time I ran out of the prescription and had my husband hurry to the pharmacy to get it. And I thought, wait a minute. I don't like the feeling that, I got to go get this stuff. I stopped cold turkey, and I'm so glad I did, because I went through withdrawal and all this stuff. It was horrible. Reality was, if I had probably some progesterone cream or estrogen cream, it probably would have been just fine. Now, that was like 17 years ago when I was in the height of my anxiety. And it lasted pretty much until about 60, but it wasn't as bad because I learned to control it with other holistic types of things. But if you are menopausal or premenopausal and you're having some anxiety feelings or mood swings, definitely talk to your doctor about it and have him pull your panels to find out what your hormonal levels are. Do not take no for an answer. I don't care if you just got them drawn 6 months ago, doesn't matter. These are different symptoms that you're exhibiting. You need to have those panels drawn so you can find out what's going on and then decide along with your doctor what you want to do. And just recently, I've been having problems sleeping. And I thought, well, maybe it's the caffeine, because I drink a cup of coffee during the day. So maybe that's the problem. I really don't drink that much coffee anymore. I'm one of those people, I'll pour the coffee, but I don't drink it. So anyway, I had, as I mentioned, several doctors and health coaches on that are talking about hormones. And one of them mentioned the fact that if you're feeling, sleepless, it could be that your progesterone is low. And as soon as she said, I thought, ding, 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 more than likely that's the case. Because I've also had some problems with, reducing the pounds and inches that just came from nowhere in the last 2 or 3 years. And I had my panels drawn, and I knew I was low on progesterone and estrogen, but I chose not to do the HRT and to manage it differently. Well, as a result of talking to one of the guests I had on my podcast, and she is a functional practitioner or a naturopath, and she was saying, well, you can get progesterone cream and estrogen cream on Amazon. It's like, what? She says, yeah. And then she made a recommendation. I went ahead and, took a look at my reports again to see where I was low, and I ordered both of them. I've been sleeping like a baby the last 3 years, last 3 days. That's all it was. It was just that my progesterone levels had gone down. So you don't have to be in active menopause for your hormonal levels to fluctuate. That's a myth. That's why it seems like menopause never ends. No, menopause does end, but your fluctuation of hormones, that doesn't. That's on again, off again. And so you just need to put more tools in your toolkit and make sure you have up-to-date information from your doctor in terms of what's going on with your hormonal panels, and then make some decisions on what from your toolkit you're going to use to have your progesterone go up, your estrogen go up, or even your testosterone. One thing I want to say about estrogen as well, a lot of women experience low estrogen, of course, during menopause, but it doesn't stop there. It continues to be a challenge. And when you're getting dangerously low on estrogen, that's where the cardiac disease comes in. That's why so many women have a tendency to get cardiac disease somewhere in their 50s. It's because of the low estrogen. So definitely your relationship with your doctor, your health coach, your practitioner, whatever, should be a hand in glove fit where you're constantly talking about things going on with your body, because this hormone stuff can be serious if you don't address it. I mean, estrogen is one of the main reasons for osteoporosis, believe it or not. I mean, calcium, D3, all that's important. Also, lack of estrogen, that's why we wrinkle. Now, I'm not saying that everybody go out and pound and get any of these things, but I am saying information is power. So the next time you're with your doctor, you come in with these notes, you say, hey, I just need to know where I am and where my levels are and what you suggest that I do, because I'm feeling like this, this, and this, and it really does match the possibility that I'm low in these hormones. So do your homework, get your information, bring your health journal. Everybody should have a health journal. Everybody should be writing down in their journal things that don't quite feel right, so that when you get in front of your physician or whoever you're working with when it comes to your health, you don't have to count on your memory, because you know what's going on with that, right? Our short-term memory gets affected as we're going through menopause and as we age. But if you have it written down, you can say, oh yeah, that's right. I've been feeling this way or that way, or I've noticed this about my body or that about my body. That really helps your doctor, because he really cannot diagnose without all the information. Now, in terms of why my doctors didn't say that my anxiety was tied to the fact that I was in menopause, I'll never know. All I know is that in the last 17 years, there seems to be a risen level of awareness of how our hormones can impact us, including the mood swings. And this anxiety and depression that you might be feeling, some of it can be directly related to the hormones. And I'm telling you, you'll feel so much better once you institute some of these things. It's not like you have to feel this way forever. It doesn't have to be a chronic condition. You do not have to be chronically imbalanced in your hormones, just the opposite. So that's my talk for today.
Wow, that's a lot, and it was power packed.
Power packed.
I want to rewind about 20 years. Start over.
I know. Oh my God. If I had known that, and the medication they had me on when I decided to stop taking it, I went through like about 2 weeks of withdrawal. It was really something. It wasn't painful, but it just was like a huge wake-up call, and probably the last nail on the coffin in terms of the fact I'm going to become a wellness coach. This is crazy. Why did it take my body through this? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even necessary. That's why a lot of doctors will prescribe the birth control pills, because of the hormones that are in there. That's why.
Wow.
But they don't have to do it that way anymore. They should not be doing it that way anymore. Mm-hmm. You can get creams and things now. And like I said, you can order them from Amazon. Now, maybe the stronger creams, or maybe you want to go with the cream that your doctor recommends. But what I got from Amazon, it was fine. I mean, immediately, the only thing that that I noticed was I felt a little bit more groggy yesterday. So I got to figure out, it says like a quarter of a teaspoon twice a day. Maybe I just need a quarter of a teaspoon right before I go to bed at night, and that's it, because I was like sitting around like this yesterday. And my husband said, maybe you got too many hormones. I was like, oh God. You have to figure it out, for what works for you. And I'm not advocating that people go out and buy a bunch of estrogen and put it on their face and think it's going to get rid of the wrinkles. That's not how that works. Okay. Anything you put on your face or your body, you always want to clear with whoever is helping take care of your overall health. This is just information I'm sharing with everybody. Go and check it out. I'm not recommending anything in terms of you definitely need to do it. What I am recommending is that you take this information and use it in a way that's going to enhance your overall wellness. And of course, that means you're talking to your doctor, your health coach, whoever is working with you and keeping you vital and vibrant and healthy and energetic and all the things we want to be in midlife.
Now, I can remember using some of that estrogen cream when I was going through menopause, and I bought it at the drugstore. Okay, but I don't think we were as knowledgeable as we are. We've gained some information since that time.
I know.
And so it's probably better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as,
there's a lot more information available. There are more products available. And I mean, you can read the reviews on there if you want to, if your doctor doesn't have an opinion or if he's just wanting to prescribe something that could be more expensive. It depends on your plan and everything else. You always want to get the best that your money can buy, of course. But it's not that hard to do the research. And there's even sites that you can go on now that can read the I believe it's the barcode of supplement products and tell you exactly what's in them and how good they are. Like, for instance, there are probiotics that you can get out there that do have what they say they have, but some are better than others when it comes to absorption. Absorption is key because some of us have extremely expensive urine. It just goes right out.
That's a good way to describe it.
Supplements and things that you're taking are being absorbed by the body. Sometimes it feels like it is because that's the placebo effect. I just took this, all of a sudden, Rika is feeling much better. And it is better because the mind is powerful. But in reality, you just want to, there's all kinds of things you can do to double check to make sure. And I have to put a plug in for the Vibe Wellness Woman Network because we have some excellent things coming up about this very topic. And we already have had some workshops about this very topic by two very well-qualified doctors. One is a gynecologist, integrative gynecologist, and another one, as I mentioned earlier, is a functional practitioner and naturopath. And they've got all these initials behind their names, but they specialize in hormones and helping women manage them. And so those are in the event replays. And if you sign up for the 7-day trial, then you can get in there for the event replays. And of course, those of you who are members, it's there forevermore, including their talking notes. And if you go to the contributor page, you can go to their website and reach out to them directly. So, that fun. That's if you sign up for the waiting list. I'll give it to you. Hold on a second here. It's here we go. Is that right? Yeah. I have to double check myself. I'm infamously making typos. There. Nope. Okay. Click right there where it says new website. I think that should lead you to it. I hope it does. If not, I got to go back in there. I also put it in the chat too.
You know what I like about this subject, Lynnis, is that hormones are sort of a mystery. And when we were growing up, when we were in our 50s, it was a kind of a scary topic. People didn't know if they should take HRT. They were scared to take HRT, things like that. So this is so important because people that are in their 40s and 50s are just getting into that, and they should not be afraid of their hormones, and they should not be afraid of going through menopause.
Yeah,
so
I think
this
that,
is awesome.
I think because the baby boomers have, like I said, we haven't gone away. We're talking about it. We're telling our kids about it because now our kids are in their 40s and are beginning to experience some things.
Exactly.
But I never had a conversation with my mom about my hormones at all. Now, she died at 56, so she was just beginning to. But I look back at some stuff and I thought, yeah, she probably needed some estrogen that day. The mood swings and all that stuff. Because we are talking more about it. Our kids are picking up on it, and it's available. You have people on Instagram talking about it. Everybody is talking about it.
It's great.
Which is really good because not all the information is correct, but at least it gives you a path to begin to start checking out what works for you.
Mhm.
Everybody's body is different. So what might work for me or for you may not work for someone else. That doesn't mean that it's bad. It just doesn't work because of all the other stuff that's going on right now.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, it makes a big difference that you become more self-aware
Yes.
Mhm.
instead of just pushing back the symptoms and things, and instead
Mhm.
saying, you know what, something's not right. Because
Mhm.
when I wasn't sleeping well, and I said, okay, I know I'm, a little stressed about, the website and all the different things I'm juggling, but this is no different than any other time, and I sleep. What's going on? And it was my progesterone, and possibly my estrogen too, but definitely my progesterone. And the interesting thing about it was my levels the last time I had them, they were okay. That was like
Mm.
months ago. So, and I believe that sometimes there's things that do happen to us antidotally that cause more of a drain on my adrenals. When I think about it, I said, well, I thought it was a stress. Well, indirectly it was maybe, because like I said, chronic stress is not necessarily hair on fire stress. It's just the day-to-day stress. And over time, your adrenal just gets worn out and stops producing stuff. And then your other hormones that you need to help you cope with those feelings, they go down. And then you start gaining weight, and you're wondering why, because you're not eating anything hardly. You're living on water, and that's the cortisol levels. And of course, not eating anything, I would never recommend. If you get your hormones under control, especially at this time of our lives, that's probably good 70% of the weight gain that you're experiencing. The other piece too, and that's including cravings and everything else. But the other piece is that you can no longer eat like you're 35 either. I mean, a whole bag of Oreos, not a problem. Now maybe a couple, two or three, that's it. So, I mean, you have to make some adjustments. But actually, a lot of it can be hormonally driven. And that's why it's so hard to lose weight, because you're not addressing what's going on with the hormones. I would say, first and foremost, you're gaining weight, get those panels pulled, find out if that could be contributing to it, and get it taken care of. Because these lower hormonal levels can also
Mhm.
lead to other issues that are much more serious than just the fact that you got a little tummy. So
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
I
This
see
was,
that got this all right.
the other thing I really liked what you said today, Lynnis, which, I really hadn't, I it just hit me, is to start, if you don't have one, to start a health journal,
Mm,
because it's so hard to remember when
Mm.
you felt, you did this, but when was that, And I'm going to tell my new daughter-in-law and all those young kids that are in their 30s, you guys start your health journal now.
yes. And if it's
Yeah.
too difficult to start a separate journal, just document how you're feeling. How are
Mm.
you
Yeah.
feeling today? You can put it all in one thing: your gratitude, your affirmations, how you're feeling, and all the things you're mad about or whatever, right there in the journal. And
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, wait a minute, let me check my journal, before I go to the doctor, because I've been feeling this kind of way. Because you know that you're putting down how you're feeling. I think it's a good exercise to check in with yourself every day.
Mm-hmm.
How am I feeling?
Wow.
And it's interesting too, because I got the estrogen, but I hadn't used it yet. And when I was on my walk, I noticed a little dryness I hadn't noticed before. And I said, oh, okay, let me make sure I put my estrogen on when I get home. That I did notice it last week. It was fine. But,
Mhm.
what happened, up and down levels, it
Mm-hmm.
happens. It
Mm-hmm.
does. And it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that there's anything seriously wrong with you. But of course, when you're getting your hormones checked, you also want to get everything else checked too.
Mhm.
Make sure that everything is in order. And I think also using those creams, but also supporting by the foods I talked about, vitamin C, super important.
Right.
Any cruciferous vegetables at all are very important. The broccoli, the cauliflower, nuts and seeds. We don't eat a lot of that in our American diets per se, but you can certainly add it. You can go to the grocery store, you see them selling it in bulk. Pumpkins, zinc, who knew? You know,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
that's a great way to get your zinc. But many times, for a lot of different reasons, our body may not absorb everything that we need through our food. So you do want to take a look at supplements if you find that you are low in that component. You do not want to be taking any supplements that you don't need, because the body will not absorb them and slough them off, or it could make you sick. Like too much vitamin B is not a good thing. You have to be careful
Mm.
about that. So you don't just want to be taking supplements. You want to definitely check with your health coach, your doctors, whoever you're working with that's taking care of you, to make sure this is something that you really need. And the other thing is that sometimes you don't always need it all the time. Maybe you need it for
Okay.
a while, and then you stop for a while. Most doctors will advise that you need to take this for the next 30 days or 60 days, then we'll see. Because sometimes when the levels get to where they need to, then you don't need to do it anymore. Why?
Mm,
You don't want to overtake supplements too. I know some people who take 15 supplements a day,
yes.
and some of them really need it, and some of them don't. So
Mm,
use wisdom and use the information from your doctors and your coaches and stuff.
wow.
Mhm.
Wisdom is the principal thing. And I had your website up. I can share it again before we go.
Okay.
And tell us a little bit about where we're going.
Okay. That's the front of the
Mhm.
page. And I just wanted to show you, click on live events. Yeah, click on free wisdom workshops.
Let's see. Did the page change for
Yes,
you?
Yeah.
it did. These
Yeah.
are all the workshops that are coming up over the next couple of weeks, and I have like 2 or 3 to add. But these are the ones: a workshop about relationships, a workshop about sound frequencies and how they help our health, a workshop about fat back and trimming that fat back. We have another workshop about embodiment intelligence in terms of how to use our emotions, how to get rid of our emotions, but through movement, which is really important because we hold so much in our bodies and we don't need to be doing that.
Mm.
There's also one on, are we micro poisoning ourselves? I'm going to go to that one, but I'm going to be like, yeah, okay. And it has to do with makeup.
Mm.
What's
Okay.
happening with that. Navigating the challenges of midlife transitions. This lady specializes in writing affirmations for women in midlife and motivating and empowering them. So that's going to be great. The next one after that is set in your ways. Oh, habits, how to reset your habits, which is so important as you age because you do need to make some incremental lifestyle changes. And sometimes that's tough to do. And it's not because you don't want to, but you're changing a habit. Well, she's going to talk to you how to do that, how to change those habits. And unlocking the secrets to ageless vitality. That's one of my holistic coaches is going to be talking about some tips to help retard the aging process. And food fitness simplified. Some great general wellness tips for women over 50 to help increase your energy and to give you better ideas on exercising and all that. And if you want to find out more about who's giving the workshops, you can click on the RSVP and it gives you a description of the website and who's giving the workshop. But you can also go to the section on the website called Our Contributors. And then you can find all about them. That's under About. And click on Our Contributors. And there's their beautiful faces. And
What a nice website, Lynnis.
yeah, it really did come
Very
together.
nice.
It really did.
Yes.
Big difference from when you first signed up. Because I've added some things and rearranged
Oh,
some
okay.
things and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Good.
And we have more people. I think right now there's 16 on there, and I have
I know Pam
at least 2
Sherman.
more. You know Pam?
Yeah.
I love Pam.
Yeah, I've been in networking meetings with her and I've seen her presentations and she's
Yeah. You know what?
she's
I didn't know that she lived in Sacramento. I didn't find out till after about 6 months later. We were just
Oh,
talking, and she said she was sitting at a Panera's, and I was at a Panera's, and I said, "Oh, what part? Where?" She said, "Oh, it's a Panera's. I live in a city called Roseville." And I was like, "What? I live in Fair Oaks, which is like what 10 minutes from her."
Are
Yeah,
you serious? That is so cool.
isn't that?
Yeah.
But these are some wonderful women, most of who I've known for at least 10, 15 years.
Mhm.
Many of them have been on my podcast. Many of them I have collaborated with. All of them are
Wow.
highly
What
qualified.
a resource.
Yes, and
Wow.
represents over 250 years of wellness. So
Look
you can
at
see
these
Jill Diamond
women.
Taylor is with us. Yay! Jill Diamond Taylor is a motivational speaker and life coach. She is awesome. She hasn't set her wellness workshop yet, so I got to put that up.
Wow, this is really nice.
Yeah.
mhm.
some great folks, and we're going to be adding more. I have more blogs to add today. I've got like about 6 blogs that I need to add today. We have online courses for the members. The blog, everybody can see, but for the members, you have online courses, and you also have challenges and discounts on other courses that is only being offered to Vibe members. I have one friend who has always been chronically obese, and she ended up with broken heart syndrome, had to have some surgeries and stuff, and she's got to get the weight off. She's got to. And she's tried all kinds of different things. Well, she went to one of the workshops, connected with the coach. Now she's working with her. And she said already, this coach is going to save her life. And Sheila Kelty, she probably is. She probably is, because she doesn't do diets. She does behavior modification, and she educates in terms of what's good for you and what's not. Now that's the membership side. And there's Robin, our featured member of the month.
Look at me.
Yeah, there you are. And that also tells you what's coming up on there as well. And I see I need to add a couple more for the 16th. There's always something to add, but that's a good thing. So you can go on. If you're a member, you can go and see what's coming up over the next couple of days. You can get a little motivation for your daily affirmation. And you can also click on the courses, and you can go into the event replays to see what you missed. If you go to membership areas, I can show that to them real quick.
Let's see, right.
Go up on the top, it says membership area. Yeah. And then go to event replays right there.
Okay, good.
And then there they are.
Oh, good.
You
Thank
see
you.
the arrow? It just will keep going. The arrow will just
Got
keep going
it.
to the next one.
Awesome.
And also, if you go further down, you can see the documents. Some of them are downloads, or the AI notes, or the PowerPoints and things associated with it. Just more information for all the stuff that we've done so far. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's definitely worth the $22 a month. And then the annual, I think the annual is $227. But I am offering during our inaugural month a 20% discount. All you need is the code, which is VIBE20. Capital VIBE, all caps, 20, no space. And then you get the discount. It's worth it. Definitely worth it.
We all agree.
That's
enough of my shameless promotion. I'm done.
Lynnis,
we all
should be
agree.
so beautiful. It's just a beautiful website.
Thank you.
And it represents so many years of hard work. We are excited for you. Congratulations on your 100th podcast today. And Lynnis, it couldn't happen to a more wonderful person. We want our audience to know we trust Lynnis. She is bona fide and more than qualified. So we want you to support her, sign up, become a part of her Facebook group, become a part of her membership group, and live well. Thank you so much, Lynnis.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity, everyone. I've got to run. I'm already late for an 8:30.
I know you have to run.
Bye, Lynnis. Thank you.
All right, we love you.
Everybody. Bye-bye.
See you later. Okay. There you go. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
That was awesome.
That was really, really helpful. And we hope that our audience was educated by that, guys. And all the more reason to become a part of Lynnis's group and a part of her membership subscription service.
Yeah. And a part of BizChicks.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can become a part of BizChicks simply by texting Biz to 33777. Or you can join us over there at bizchicks.net. We also want to remind you that all is well, and that we look forward to sharing with people what it is you do and how you serve your community. Robin, thank you again.
So next week, we have Jill Weston with us, all the way from Mexico. So we're very excited to see Jill back with us.
Our whisperer.
She's our Calm Your Chaos.
Yes.
Meditation and yoga instructor. So we're excited. We're always excited to see her. So.
And you know, I was reading an article the other day on how breathing can heal you. Mm-hmm. So there you go, guys. Very timely.
Come back and see Jill next week. Yeah.
Exactly. Guys, we just thank you for your time, and we hope that you'll join us again. Tomorrow we'll be talking tech and easy to understand terms with the Biz Chicks for Tech Life Weekly. Robin, we love you, and we wish you well in your travels. Have a great time, and come back and bring us even more wonderful guests next
Okay.
week. We love you. Have a great day, everyone. Remember, it's okay to make money in your business, so go to the front of your own line. Bye bye.